guys, we're just gonna jump right into this. The first thing that we're going to do is make our sleeve. To start off, we are going to make a slip knot. To make a slip knot, you simply wrap your yarn around 2 fingers like so. Once you have a loop, you're going to pull your yarn through that loop to create yet another loop, and that is your slip knot. Next, we're going to chain the width of our tablet. So what you want to do is grab your tablet, and you want to look at its width, and then you're going to chain that width. So my lucky number is 17. To make a chain, you simply wrap your yarn around your hook and pull through. The number that you chain does not matter. As you can see, 17 suits my tablet perfectly. So after I find that lucky number and do my chain, what I'm going to do is add on a chain, just one chain. So I'm going from 17 chains to 18 chains. And now we're ready to move on to round 1. For round 1, you're going to half double crochet into the second chain from the hook and every chain across. So I'm skipping the chain that I literally just made, and what I'm going to do is half double crochet into every chain across. To half double crochet, I wrap my yarn over so that I have 2 loops on my hook. Then, I insert my hook and pull through so that I have 3 loops on my hook. Next, I yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on my hook. And that completes my first half double crochet. I'm going to crochet or half double crochet in every single chain across until I have a total of 17 half double crochets. Once you're finished half double crocheting in every single chain across, what you're going to do is half double crochet in the bottom loops to create a round. Now, when you do so, you should have the same amount of half double crochets on the bottom as you do on the top. So, I'm just going to turn my work to the 12 o'clock position so that it's easier to work my half double crochets into the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find those bottom loops. Honestly, If you find the same number of bottom loops that you did half double crochet in the top, you should be good. So don't worry about half double crocheting into the exact loop or whatever. Whatever matters, or what does matter, is that you have the same number of half double crochet on the top as you do on the bottom. Half double crocheting on the bottom allowed us to create a round, and that completes round 1. So we're going to move on to round 2. Cool, 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 where we are going to half double crochet into the first half double crochet of round 1. So what you're going to do is find that first half double crochet, the first one you've ever made in this project, and then you're just going to half double crochet into that half double crochet. Once you do that, you are going to take a piece of yarn or a safety pin or whatever works for you, and you're going to mark this stitch. Now this represents the first stitch of the next round. So we were on round 1 and now we're moving on to round 2. So I'm taking my yarn and what I'm doing is I'm pulling it through that stitch, and this is going to tell me, hey, this is the first half double crochet of round 2. Now, it's very important that you move your yarn marker on every single round, and I'm just going to show you how I do it in, I guess, further on in the video. But I just wanted to emphasize that it is very important that you move your yarn marker, or stitch marker, or whatever you want to call it. Cool! So next we're just going to half double crochet into every stitch around until we reach that stitch marker. So I finally reached the end of round 2. Well, not finally, I mean, I'm not like exhausted or anything, but I finally reached it. And essentially, I'm going to move on to rounds 3 to 20. Now, the more rounds you complete equals the longer your tablet. We're going to do the exact same thing that we did in round 2, which is to half double crochet into the first stitch of the previous round. So here I have the stitch marked in round 2, and what I'm going to do is half double crochet into that stitch. Now I know that I'm on round 3, so I'm going to mark this with a half double crochet. This represents the first stitch of round 3. Once again, you will do this every single time you reach a new round. And I know, it's kind of annoying, I know, but it makes your work so much more pristine and perfect and beautiful, like you guys. So just make sure that you're keeping track of your rounds and that you're moving your yarn marker or stitch marker every single time you enter a new round. Once we've moved our stitch marker, you're just going to half double crochet in every single stitch around until you reach the stitch marked with the stitch marker. As you can see here, I'm finishing up my last round, which is round 20. Once again, you can do more or less rounds depending on your tablet. So my rounds fit perfectly. There's not too much space above, and I'm not really missing any space below, and I really don't think that you guys will either, which is great. So after you're done, you're just going to slip stitch into every stitch around. I'm keeping my yarn marker in, or my stitch marker. I keep saying yarn marker, whatevs. But you're going to keep your stitch marker in, just because you just want to know where you started your slip stitches. And if you want to take it out now, you can, but I'm just waiting. Once you're done slip stitching, first you're just going to chain one. Just like that. And then you're just going to pull through, cut, and fasten. Now that completes our sleeve, and we can finally move on to making our flowers. Yay, so pretty. So we're going to start off once again with a slip knot. And after we make our slip knot, we are just going to chain 4 and join. So as you can see, to join, I am simply slip stitching into the first chain that I made. And this creates a round. So we're going to start off with round 1, of course, where we're going to actually start off once again by chaining 1. After you chain 1, you just want to complete 7 single crochets into the center. And once you finish your 7 single crochets, you are you're just going to slip stitch into the first single crochet. So you're gonna find that first single crochet, right there, and you're just going to slip stitch into that single crochet, and that will complete round 1. So moving on to round 2, we're going to complete 2 half double crochets plus a slip stitch in every single stitch around. So I know this sounds crazy, but simply you are going to do 1 half double crochet. There's your first one in the first stitch. Then you're going to work another half double crochet into that same stitch. So there's your second half double crochet. And then lastly in that stitch, you are going to work 1 slip stitch. Next, you're just going to move on to your next stitch of the previous round, and you're once again going to work 1 half double crochet, another half double crochet, and a slip stitch. You're going to do this all the way around until you reach your first half double crochet. Once you reach your first half double crochet, you are ready to simply slip stitch into the first half double crochet. So you're going to find that first half double crochet and slip stitch into it. Afterwards, you are just going to chain 1, pull through, cut, and fasten. So once you're finished, you just want to make like a gazillion more flowers. I made 23 more. And essentially when you're done making all of your flowers, you can start to attach them to your sleeve. Now I like to attach my flowers with my nook inside the sleeve. It's just easier, but I am very careful. To attach your flower, you want to first place it where you want it to be. And then you're just going to move it above so that you can actually tie it on. And I'll show you really quick right now. That was really weird, but I'll show you. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2 loose strings hanging from my flower. I'm just going to pull them through at the position or place where I actually want my flower to be. So I pulled through one and then I pulled through the other. If you only have one, I mean, I guess you're gonna have to make that work, but essentially there's no real super fancy technique to attaching your flowers. You essentially just want to make sure that they're attached. And actually, after we attach them, as you can see here, what I'm doing is I'm just pulling it into position. But after we attach them, we're actually just going to sew them or weave through or do whatever. Oh gosh, that didn't make sense. I'm sorry. We're gonna sew them on essentially to make sure that they are extra secure. But as you can see here, I am just tying like 5 gazillion knots just to make sure that they are secure in their positions for now. So once you tie your flower on, you just want to cut any extra string that may be hanging off. Make sure you don't cut too much. You still want your flower to, I don't know. But anyways, don't cut too much. And you just want to hide any extra yarn that may be showing. And then you just want to move on and you want to attach all of these flowers. Just attach all of them. Just go crazy. And once you attach them, like I was saying before, we are going to sew the flowers on just to secure them. Because right now they are a little loose and flimsy and sloppy, and we're classy, you know, we're not sloppy, so we're gonna sew them on. Once again, I don't really have any specific technique for sewing my flowers on. I just do them to the best of my ability and try to hide the yarn to the best of my ability. Just go with the flow, honestly. Just do it. Just go with the flow. Also, when you are done sewing everything on, guess what? You are done! Oh god. Thank you so much for watching. And I know I go AWOL like all the time, so if you want to keep up with Simply Crochet, just follow me on Instagram. Bye guys, love you so much.